In this next episode, we're going to talk about the Gzip utility. The Gzip utility is a compression utility. It works alongside archiving utilities, or it can work independently in order to compress a file. This helps in conserving the disk space, and of course, if you are transferring files, helps in that as well, compressing the size of the file. So coming up in the lab, we're going to talk about the different ways that you can compress and decompress files using the Gzip compression utilities. We'll share how to actually execute these following commands in order to, again, compress files, and along with compressing directories and decompressing or unzipping your files. Please stay tuned for our lab where we discuss how to use the Gzip utility. Hi. In this episode, we're going to be discussing the Gzip utility. Though a zip utility is usually meant to compress files, so the Gzip utility is really a utility that allows you to compress a file. So this could be an archive or some file that you want to compress in order to, maybe email it or transfer it over the network somewhere else and make it a little bit easier to do that task. So really, and also, of course, conserve the space in your hard disk. So this could work for any files. So how you use it is very, very simple. You simply type gzip and then the name of some file or even some directory, file, and it will zip the file inside, less bits. It will simply compress that file into less bits than the original file size. So to show you how that works, I'm going to actually run this command as root. So I'm typing sudo, and then I'm going to create some archive called etc.tar and archive the etc directory. Right? I'm creating an archive. I have to actually put the switches cvf to create an archive called etc.tar and archive everything in the etc directory. Let's go ahead and press enter, type my sudo password, and make this archive file. Now, let's take a look at the archive file and its size. So it's called etc.tar, and the du command is simply used to tell me the size of that archive. It's about 27 megabytes. Now, how about the etc directory itself? And you can see the etc directory is also 27 megabytes. So although I have included all of the content as a single file called etc.tar, they're approximately the same size. Now watch when I actually compress etc.tar. So with gzip. So gzip etc.tar and du-h to observe its size. So now there's a file that exists called etc.tar.gz. This is the compressed version of my archive file. And you can see that it has compressed all the way from 25 megabytes all the way to 5 megabytes. That's a lot of space you're saving if you consider then scaling up and having large files or large size archives. To unzip this, you can simply type the command gunzip and the name of my archive file. And now that gzipped compressed file has been decompressed. And now if we again observe the size of our file, you can see it's back from 5 megs all the way to 25 megs. So that is working with Gzip. I hope you've learned something, and I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.